Well, hello there, my fellow rushers. How are you doing today? King Rexy here. Today, we're nearing the end of our hero review series in Kingdom Martial Alliance because we only have 2 heroes left. And you already know who they are. The dragons. The best heroes in the game. Last time we talked about Warhead, which is like the last regular premium hero. But now we're talking about the big boys and girls, because we do have a female dragon, which we're gonna be talking about, called Lumenir.
Smites the unholy.
So yeah, Lumenir, the Holy Dragon, the Paladin Dragon, whatever you wanna call it. She is amazing. Just phenomenally good. We'll recommend buying her. End of the review. Okay, just kidding. We're gonna talk about her in more detail, of course. So, let's get on with it. First of all, her base stats, level 10, are pretty solid. 500 HP, which is rock solid for a flying hero. That's a little bit more than Broden. But she also has medium armor at 36%, just barely making it to medium armor, which I don't know why. Like, why not make it 40%? Why have to be 36? That's a bit of an odd number, no? But anyway, it is what it is. Now, her base damage is a bit questionable. 38 to 74 true damage every 2 seconds. So, in reality, you have to reduce the numbers by half, and then you get her DPS, well, her DPS. Yeah, that's what DPS means, damage per second. So, how good is she in terms of base stats? Pretty good. The only thing I don't like about her is honestly the damage gap between her lowest and highest damage, but it is what it is. She deals true damage, so we take it. As far as mobility goes, it's pretty average. Just like most flying heroes, they are not super fast, but they're not slow either. Unlike certain someone, Dianian. So yeah. Anyway, let's talk about the abilities, and is she worth buying? First of all, we have Radiant Wave. Breathes 5 orbs of divine light that travel through the path, damaging enemies. Each orb deals between 10 to 14 true damage to each enemy it passes through. So the ability is solid. It does have a relatively short cooldown of 20 seconds. And the way the orbs work is, they deal damage to an enemy they pass through every 0.5 seconds. So, if the enemy has a big hitbox or if they're getting stalled while the orbs are passing through them, you might be able to do more damage. The problem is, the orbs have a pretty small AoE. Like, not gonna lie, it's pretty small. So depending on the subpath on which the enemy spawns, they may or may not take less or more damage. Like, it's pretty inconsistent when it comes down to damage, but then again, it's one of her very few abilities that deals area damage, so I guess we'll take it. Plus, it's, again, true damage. You can never go wrong with dealing true damage, right? And I forgot to mention, you need at least 2 enemies in range in order to proc it. Moving on to Light Companion. Summons a small light dragon that follows the other equipped hero for 15 seconds. Each dragon deals 19 to 29 physical damage per attack. Now, I'm not sure why they say each dragon, as if there are multiple. No, you only summon 1 dragon at a time. And the cooldown is quite long at 35 seconds. But then again, it does last for 15 seconds, so that's nice. The damage though is a bit mid, like 90 to 29 physical damage is pretty low. You think the dragon will be dealing true damage because it comes out of, well, her. So, shouldn't the little dragon also be dealing true damage? I guess not. And another negative is the dragon doesn't attack while moving. So if your secondary hero is on the move while the dragon is equipped, then the mini dragon is not going to be able to attack while moving. So that's unfortunate. Honestly, I feel like this ability could have been a little bit better, but then again, the rest of her abilities are rock solid. So you know what? I'll take the Light Companion. It's not as bad as I thought. Moving on. Blessing of Retribution. Grants allies units a 30% armor shield that reflects 60% damage back at the enemies. Now, this ability right here is quite solid because you can affect up to 5 ally units in a really, and I mean really, massive area. For some reason she can cover like a third of the map with this ability, which is insane. I don't know why it works like that, but it does. The cooldown though is pretty short, 20 seconds, and the bonus lasts for 8 seconds. So for 8 seconds, units get a 30% armor shield, and they also reflect 60% of the damage back. 60%! And I believe the damage reflection is true damage, so against high tier enemies, they get melted by their own attacks. And your units are also tankier. Now, the only negative about this ability is it kinda has anti-synergy with itself, because it grants 30% armor. But at the same time, the way damage reflection works, in Kingdom Rush at least, is pretty simple. It's gonna, before the damage gets reflected, it calculates how much armor the unit has. So for example, if someone deals 100 damage to a unit with 50% armor, they're gonna only take 50 damage. So yeah, I don't know about that. I don't know about getting extra armor while also having reflect damage. I feel like if it was just the damage reflection, it would be much better, but it is what it is. A bit of an anti-synergy with itself, but the ability still does positive damage, so we'll take it. And now her last normal ability, Celestial Judgment. Cast the Divine Sword of Light over the strongest enemy nearby, dealing 540 true damage and stunning it for 4 seconds. For 4 seconds. It's not for 4 seconds, it's actually for 2 seconds. And it's an AoE stun, by the way. It doesn't say that, but it's an AoE stun. The damage is not AoE, but the stun effect has AoE. And it targets the strongest enemy, which is always a good sign. But the ability is held back by its long cooldown. 35 seconds. It does take a while for this ability to execute, so you don't want to waste it on a low tier enemy, obviously. But 540 true damage is a crap ton, especially against really high tier enemies like Abominations, for example, or Blade Claws. This ability chunks them really hard, and the 2 second stun after is always appreciated. And now, last but not the least, Call of Triumph. Summon 3 Warriors of Light, which briefly stun enemies, nearby enemies, and deal 32 to 48 true damage. Now, these guys last for 5 seconds, and they attack really fast. I'm not sure quite what their attack speed is. I haven't fully discovered it yet, because again, I'm still looking into it, so I might be wrong on the numbers here, but as far as I've calculated, each warrior can do somewhere, well, all the warriors combined can do about 360 to 440 true damage at most. Which doesn't seem all that much, but in reality it's quite a bit. I mean, compare this to Birds of Prey. These guys, they do 100 true damage if both of them swipe on the enemy. But they take 15 seconds. For 15 seconds they're up here. Well, I don't know, I just feel like Call of Triumph is a little bit better than this one. Just because you can use it on a single target, or on up to 3 enemies. Personally, I really like using it on boss levels, because combine this with a Broaden ult, and yeah, bosses just get absolutely deleted if those 2 ultimates are on them at the same time. And then you can just throw in an Arborean's Emissary and delete everything, literally. But anyhow, that's enough yapping. Let's get on with the showcase and see how good Lumenir is. Cause she is pretty expensive, $7. She ain't cheap. And yeah, she looks pretty cool. I'm not sure what's up with the armor, but I like it. As you can see, 500 HP, 38 to 74 true damage, 36% armor, and 30 seconds respawn time. Mobility wise, average. Not slow, not fast, just mediocre.
Do not falter.
Yeah, we won't. Okay, let's get a little setup up in here and let's go with the level. Boop, boop. One more of these and we going. So, let's showcase her. Oh, there's the little dragon. It's already spawned. It doesn't do anything, but you know, at least now you get to see how it looks. Now we're gonna see the basic attack. Here it is. There's the sword. Boop! Look at that. Look at how much health he lost, and he was stunned for 2 seconds on top of that. Now we're gonna move her up in here. Here comes the orbs. But as you can see, they kind of follow different paths. So it's kind of difficult. Like, look at that. This guy took 200. This guy is at 272 HP. This one is at 287. So the DPS is a little inconsistent, but it is what it is. Also, I forgot to mention it, but I think you already saw it. The Blessing of Retribution is gonna happen any minute now again. Come on, Lumenir, use it. You know you wanna. Where is it? Okay, there's the sword. And there's the shield. As you can see, up to 5 units get affected by it. Now, it does not work on the other hero. You cannot put the shield of the Retribution shield on your secondary hero. Which is a little unfortunate, but you know, it is what it is. It's fine. We're not gonna talk about it too much. But for the most part, she's doing pretty well. We're not struggling at all, which is good. Now, is she great? I would say yeah. In terms of single target damage, I would say her AoE damage is a bit lacking, but considering how much true damage she can pump out, consistently by the way, and the fact that she can also provide some utility with her shield of with her retribution aura thingy, whatever it was called, and on top of that you also have the ultimate, which as you can see, we can just stun these guys for 5 seconds and go to town on them. I mean, look at that, they just got absolutely annihilated. Deletion, which is deleted 3 enemies, just like that. Granted, they are low tier enemies, but still, you can utilize it in any way you want. You can use it against high tier enemy, you can use it against low tier enemies, anything you desire really. So, in general, is Lumenir worth it? I'd say yes. If you're willing to spend $7 on a hero, then yeah, she is a very solid option. Not gonna lie. She does really well. But I'd say again, her only weakness is area damage. She kinda lacks that aspect, but her single target damage is super high, which is really nice. And yeah, let's test out these guys versus a big target. Look at that, they're getting absolutely shredded. Those are medium armored enemies by the way, and they lost so much health. Yeah, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful ability nonetheless. And yeah, well, with that out of the way, I think that's gonna do it for the video. But before that, let me just give her a ranking. Personally, I don't think she's 10 out of 10. I'll give her 9 out of 10. If she had a little bit more consistent AoE damage, she would definitely be 10 out of 10. But for now, I think a 9 out of 10 is a fitting rating. And yeah, now with that out of the way, that's gonna do it for today's video. Thank you everybody so much for watching. I appreciate you for sticking around to the end. Subscribe if you want to see more of this content in the future. And while you're at it, drop a like on the video. It means a lot to me. And I will see you in the next video. Until it comes, that was King Rexy, over and out.